Hello everybody, welcome to this video. It's a very different type of video. I have wanted to make this video for a while. It's going to be a very no BS, very straightforward guide on how to get to your goal physique completely for free, right? And I wish I had this video again once I started the gym because there's so much BS out there. It is really that simple, but it's not easy. Okay? It is very simple in terms of you should be knowing what you're able to do, but actually doing it is quite difficult. But I'll get more depth into that later, right? Again, I made this very short kind of PowerPoint thing, what do you want to call it, and it's just going to go over everything that you really need to know and do before you start the whole journey of getting in better shape, baby. Okay? So first, this is the one most important thing, and this is where the true starting line really does begin. You really need to be very honest with yourself and no like BS about yourself. Look into the mirror and just try to not look at you and like sugarcoat things. Clearly identify your goal and your current state. So first of all, you should really figure out your current state and where do you want to get to. Let's just say that you are let's just say you're obese, right? You have a very high percentage body fat and you want to get to around, I don't know, 50% body fat. You just want to drop some type of weight, right? That's just an example. This goes for men and women, by the way. This is not just for one gender. Both can do it the same exact way. So let's just say you first have to have a clear goal. The best way I also really recommend for people to do this is go on Pinterest, find your dream physique that you really want. You probably already did this before, and genuinely make like really analyze everything that it has. Does it have wide shoulders? Does it have more dominant arms? Those little minute details, because there's clearly something that you really like about that body and why you want to have it. The more you understand of why you want that set thing, the easier everything else will be, and I will get to that later, right? So this goes for men and women. For example, if you like physiques with more dominant backs and stuff like that, keep that in mind. I would personally write it somewhere on the side just to have it on the second side. So yeah, really clearly look at your current physique, analyze your situations. Are you skinny fat? Do you just want to review your abs, right? Then you're probably gonna have to cut down weight, right? If you're confused about, oh, maybe I should do bulking, it all depends on what the type of physique that you really want. If you are a person that is currently skinny fat, for example, and you just want to reveal your abs, the only thing you have to do is cut down, basically, right? And train your abs from time to time. That's just a set example. So yeah, have a very clear vision of what you exactly want. You probably have this done, so let's move on. Now we're getting into my little comic drawings here, right? Picasso. Uh, this is a very philosophical question. Duh. Welcome to my channel. Very philosophical here. Um, that is not being asked enough for beginners, and that is that what are you willing to do for this body? What? Be super honest here. I don't want to hear no motivation piece. I will do whatever it takes. If you were willing to do whatever it takes, you would have already done it. Okay. We all have some type of limits. We all have some type of lines that we know that we have, and you should just be aware of them and be super honest about them. I have them, you have them, everybody else has them. So you have to be very honest with yourself here, right? And this is a great set example. I have some people in my life that they get really scared to go to the gym. Like, look at this stick man. He's clearly very sad in front of the gym. Okay, I just spat all over whatever. Uh, and you just know that you are not capable of like actually getting a proper workout in it because you're too anxious to go to the gym. You're just stressing out all this stuff, yada yada, right? Are you a type of person that is willing to push through it, right? Are you actually going to be willing to push through it? Or you know that you're not capable of doing that at your current state, right? And you're just not willing to push that level. Then we go here. You go, and if you're not comfortable doing stuff in the gym, you can do it at home, right? With your little cat here that I clearly drew here, right? So you got to be very mindful of what you're willing to do and how far you are willing to push yourself mentally. This is more of a mental thing here, right? Okay? And for example, for a long time, I personally really was anxious when I was going to the gym. I was a super skinny, fat kid when I first really got into the gym. And there were all these great looking people, and I just felt like I'm an absolute stick man. I'm like this guy right here, you know, and like I'm a stick. And I was like, oh my God, everybody's looking at me, everybody's judging me. First of all, I can promise you, as somebody that's been going to the gym for 4 years, I do not give a living shit about anybody else around me. I can barely see it around me. If you're working out hard, I can barely see 3 meters ahead of me or something stupid like that. Okay, so it's nobody is judging you, and if they are miserable people. I want you to keep that in mind. That's also one thing, is that the gym really teaches you a lot more mentally as well, not just physically. I've talked about this before, but yeah, I if you're somebody that struggles to push through the gym, just know that you can still do at home workouts. There's no excuse. Another thing to keep in mind, your physique is 60% of your diet. I will repeat myself. Your entire physique is 60. All right, 60. You get the point. Percent of your is just diet, right? And a lot of people get this confused. They think it's the other way around. It's not. It really isn't. The hardest part of just getting in shape is the food for, I would say, 99.9% of people, because you don't have to work out too much actually to get, depending on the shape that you want. If you want to be like an absolute like stage bodybuilder, that's a different story. The percentages change. But if you just want to look decent, just comfortable in your body, oh my goodness, you could work out 3 times, maybe even 2 times per week if you really want to push it. But if you're locked down on your diet, you will look still incredible. The diet is what sculpts everything. No, let me rephrase that. Think of diet as like, you know, when you have Play-Doh, right? That's the material, right? And you need to have a certain amount of material, right, to get a specific shape out of that Play-Doh, right? That's what a diet is for your physique. It is the most crucial thing. If you want to make a castle and you only have a little bit of Play-Doh, you're not gonna make a castle, right? And if you have too much Play-Doh, you're not gonna make a yeah, the Lego piece, whatever you wanna, you know what I mean? You get my point. So you really need to lock in on the diet, right? And talking about the diet, this is the most important part. Find your caloric goal and protein, and this is a very easy way to do it. You go to caloriecalculator.com, you put your details in there, and this is what you get, right? If you are a person that is trying to, let's just say, lose weight, this is for most people, then you go to the mild weight loss, and this number right here that you're gonna get is how much weight you should be losing, right? Or like how much calories you should be taking. My bad. Oh my God, I'm getting confused here. My bad. Okay. So this is from mile. I recommend most people to do mile. If they go extreme and weight loss, this is where most people like absolutely screw up and they get hungry all the time. Baby steps, all right? Slow motion is better than no motion. And I feel like I do this too. I always do mile, okay? Baby steps, okay? No rush. You are not, hopefully you are in no rush for a particular reason, but mild weight loss is where you want to start. In this case, this is not actually my real number, but in this case, it's 2,175 calories. That's our mild weight loss. So that's going to be our goal every single day. Then we go to proteincalculator.com. Basically, it's from the same person. Put your details in there, and you're gonna get your numbers here, right? Around 54 to 188. You can put it in always the number in between. There's always these bunch of BS sciences. You can also use ChatGPT for this. I would say ChatGPT is a little bit better, just giving you a much better number typically for me when I do this type of stuff. So yeah, but I always like to compare both. So I go to proteincalculator.com, then I go to ChatGPT, put the exact same information into ChatGPT, and kind of combine the two numbers, and always go in between those two numbers. Okay, so once you have these goals, you need to make your plans. Okay, let me boom boom boom. Make meal plans and fitness plan. And this is where people a lot of get confused because they start scrolling on Instagram, TikTok, and everybody's talking about you should do this workout, you should do this exercise, you should do this and this and that. And you get overwhelmed with information. And as a beginner, that is a big problem because when you're given too much information and too many options, you tend to just end up doing nothing. And I'm talking for personal experience. This goes for everything in life, you know, not just fitness. It's a mosquito. uh, so how do we make them, right? There are multiple options that you can do. Here, I'm gonna do a little plug, right? I have a Skool community. I'm gonna go through this fast. I basically coach people there. I do much more than just fitness. I also do modeling, posing, social media, how to make a very successful social media career. And this is kind of what I do for my clients. I make personalized custom meal plans, custom workout plans, my personal help and coaching from yours truly, and much more. So I do like footage reviews. I don't do like live calls coaching. I do footage reviews, and you have my personal help every single day. I reply to everybody, and I make all your custom meal plans and your workout plans, so you don't have to ever worry about that. And I will be holding you accountable every single day. Plug is over. If you do not want to join my Skool community, which is completely okay, uh, the best way, in my opinion, the second best way is ChatGPT. All right, not the best way, but at least it's something better than nothing. Okay, and your goal, if you're starting anything in life, is to just get started in any way, shape, or form, and try and make it better as time goes by. Your first goal, if you're a complete beginner in your fitness journey, is that you, and anything in life as well, you need to start somewhere. And starting really bad is still better than starting not at all, you know? ChatGPT, not the best, but it does the job for to some extent, you know? Here, you want to be very specific about all your details. I'm always here telling my, if you want to, for example, make a fitness plan or like a training split, right? Always say your age, your gender, what type of job do you do? Do you do construction? Do you do this and that? How many times are you willing to actually weightlift per week? Or how many rest days you would like? And then describe what type of physique that you really want. Do you want more wider shoulders, bigger legs, whatever it is, right? And put some extra details. Do you have some type of injuries? Do you have some other health problems? It will take it into account and at least make you something. It's still better than nothing. It's not great. It's still at least something, you know? So we'll give you this and that, and you will basically just follow this and adjust as time goes by. But I would follow this for the first at least 1 month. If you, is there something that you don't like, or some type of movement feels really weird, you just tell it to, or you know there's an exercise that you don't like, you just tell ChatGPT to remake that exercise for you and change it for something else. Same goes for the meal plan. I'm 125 years old, 160 centimeters. Here is really important that you put your age, gender, uh, your job, your job that you do, and your height and weight. This is very, very important, right? And then from the actual calorie calculator and the protein calculator that we already used on the from the website, we will put the numbers here and just make me a meal plan. Again, it will make you something. If there's something that you don't like, you just be like, I don't like Greek yogurt, protein ball, whatever. Grr, I don't like that. Tell it to change it to something else. Or if you're allergic to something, also put this in the meal plan. Or if there's some typical meals, if you're weirdo and don't like eggs or for some reason, right? You can put it here, or cabbage or tomatoes. Those types of people, you know. So yeah, if you don't like chicken rice bowl, which I absolutely hate most of the time because it's dry as hell, you can absolutely change it and it will do that for you. It's not the greatest again, but it's still something. Again, if you want coaching for me, I have the Skool community link in the description. And yeah, that's basically where all you have to do. And now you might be confused. You probably watch a ton of these videos and you're like, oh my God, what about this and that, this and that, this? Your job is to start, bro. Your job is to first start, gather information about yourself, right? How are you able to follow your plans consistently? What you like and what you don't like, what feels good, what doesn't feel good, right? And do that, I would say, for around 2 months. That's your job. Gather information. Once you gather information, then optimize, right? Again, that's why my Skool community, I kind of skip the 2 month part and I try to make it as optimized for you from the beginning as possible, right? And I adjust everything for you as progress goes, because I'll be tracking your progress and making sure that you're doing the things that you're supposed to be doing every single day, right? So yeah, that's basically all you have to do. And yeah, if you have any questions, please let me know down in the comments. If you feel like I missed out on something for some reason, or something that you've been struggling personally yourself during your fitness journey, or anything in general, do let me know. I can make a video about it, or just reply to the comment. I really enjoy reading your comments, guys. Like, it really means a lot to me. And yeah, again, you don't have to join my Skool community. This is just people that just don't want to waste time and just want to work with me and just get into the shape without having to worry about any information, or have somebody to hold them accountable. You can use the ChatGPT the ChatGPT method. And so yeah, that's everything from me today. I wish you a great rest of your day. I really hope this was any help to you, and that you got your some questions answered. And yeah, give it your all. Push really hard, and don't hurt yourself. Don't ego lift or anything like that. Your job is to learn how to work out first. Add weight as time goes by. I know it's not sexy, and you just want to start picking up weight. Baby steps, because if you take those baby steps correctly, your progress will absolutely skyrocket. Okay, but if you're ego lifting, it's gonna go like this, like this. You're gonna waste too much time. Okay. And I wish I really knew that sooner, but I was unfortunately not aware of that too much for some reason, and wasted all the time. So yeah. Again, if you have any questions, Instagram bio, also comments, and yeah, if you want to join my Skool community and get in shape with me, also in bio. All right, take care. Bye bye.